Five Nights at Freddy's. It's an infamous series where you either hate it or you love it. Me? I love this series. From the memes, to the lore, to the games, to the community. Despite its ups and downs, I've been a fan of FNaF for 8 long years, and I can't get enough of this franchise. But you know what's worse than FNaF? Versus.
No! No!
I don't know why, but Versus fans really love shoehorning this series into a Versus setting. Personally, I think it's funny as fuck to see people on their arms and knees begging Ben Singer to talk about Davey over here and make him fight. So why not feed into this mindset and become part of the problem? I'm gonna come up with a stupid match idea for every single one of the animatronics. But first, some ground rules. FNaF has a lot of characters. Some are animatronics, some aren't, and some blurs the line between both. So that begs the question, what counts as an animatronic? The dictionary definition for the word animatronics describes them as mechatronic puppets. We'll be using this to count which FNaF characters will be getting a matchup. For example, Vanny and Gregory clearly aren't mechatronic puppets, so no ideas for them. Characters like the Phantoms, the Nightmares, and Death take the appearances of animatronics, but may or may not actually exist, and so are excluded as well. Then we get to characters like the Glamrocks and Springtrap, and these guys technically aren't animatronics either. The former are robots, and the latter is a corpse trapped in a suit. But I'll make exceptions for those kinds of characters because they're all unique enough where it's a missed opportunity if they don't include them. Also, no duplicates of already existing characters. Freddy Fazbear, Withered Freddy, and their FNaF World variations are still technically the same character, and won't be included because, well, we're just gonna get more matchups like this. Also, don't expect too much commentary on these ideas. If I have something to say, I'll say it. And I honestly don't have a lot to say about most of these ideas. Alright, now that we've got everything out of the way, let's start. Freddy Fazbear vs. Slender Man, two of the most iconic horror mascots of the internet. This is an iconic matchup idea, as seen covered in Cartoon Fight Club. Personally talking, this is my favorite idea for Mr. Fazbear, since I don't really vibe with the others. Alright, you like that? Okay, time to go stupid from here. Bonnie vs. Inky from Pac-Man, the second in command of an iconic group of 4 dead people. Chica vs. the Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. Crazy characters who are obsessed with certain foods. Foxy vs. Boris from the Bendy series. Another iconic matchup for the FNaF series. They're like canine mascots, prevalent in the first games of their series, and they're also sidekicks to the main face of this series. I think it's cool, honestly, like, shit, dog. Golden Freddy vs. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, Vengeful Spirits. Endo 01 vs. Dry Bones from the Super Mario Bros. Series, the skeletal versions of already existing characters. Toy Bonnie vs. Inky from Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, the true blue rebooted members of an iconic group of 4 dead people. And now for number 8, we have Toy Freddy vs. Winnie the Pooh, and they're both kind of, well, you know, they're kind of, fat. I mean, come on, you know, come on, what can I say about both? Both gained a few pounds. I mean, look at them compared to the other animatronics on this list. They're both rounder, big boned, you know, they get a little bit too much of the pizza. You know what I mean. Anyways, let's move on. Toy Chica vs. Penny the Chicken from Dark Deception. Animatronic chickens who apparently have, like, yandere-esque tendencies? I didn't play the game, I don't know. The Marionette vs. Gaster from Undertale. They look alike. Balloon Boy vs. Omochao from Sonic the Hedgehog. Annoying robots Cameron wants to choke the shit out of. Endo 02 vs. Dull Bones, the skeletal versions of already existing characters. Okay, time for the big one of this entire video. Springtrap vs. Dr. Hair from Pop Tropica. Mad scientists fuse with a rabbit suit after a freak accident. Both are recurring villains of their series, who at one point mind-controlled reluctant followers for their plans. You may not like it, but this is what peak Springtrap match ideas look like. Fredbear vs. Mechasonic Mark 1 from Sonic the Hedgehog, the original versions of a long line of robots built by an insane scientist. Spring Bonnie vs. the Inky costume from Pac-Man, wearable suits based off the second in command of a group of mascots. Circus Baby vs. the End from Sonic the Hedgehog, female voices that manipulate the main character to make them get what they want. Ballora vs. Zane from Ninjago, they both go spin. Funtime Freddy vs. Iris and the Robots. Funtime Freddy vs. Iris Heart from Hyperdimension Neptunia. The sadistic alternate versions of the mascot character of the series, and both kind of have similar color schemes. Funtime Foxy vs. Funtime Foxy from FNaF World? Ennard vs. Foo Fighters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're like a big gay hive mind and use the corpse of a dead person as a disguise. Lolbit vs. Fuqua from Skullgirls, they're funny recolors. I just realized I skipped Mango. Oops! Yendo vs. Meat from Mortal Kombat, the animatronic with no suit versus the guy with no skin. Molten Freddy vs. Hourglass from Treasure Island, a melted fusion of all the enemies in the game unified by a mask. Lefty vs. Mecha Naruto, robots made in the image of another person in order to capture the vessel of a spiritual being. Happy Frog vs. Suyu from My Hero Academia. Frogs. Alright. Yes, thank you, Hippo. I am very satisfied. Pigpatch vs. Fozzie Bear from The Muppets, country animals who tell shitty jokes. Ned Bear vs. Somari from Somari, of the Somari series, clear knockoffs of already existing characters. Orville Elephant vs. Taj the Genie from Diddy Kong Racing.
Elephant.
What did you say?
Elephant.
Pop Goes the Weasel vs. Parsi Mizuhashi from the Toho Project series. Green-eyed jealousy-inducing character. Hold on, what the fuck is this doing here? Music Man versus
Music Man was born.
El Chip vs. Gustavo Fring from Los Pollos Hermanos. Funtime Chica vs. Pinky from Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, the woman of the group. Rockstar Freddy vs. Sonic the Hedgehog. You see, the connection for this one is Rockstar Bonnie vs. Inky from Pac-Man the Animated Series, the dim-witted and clumsy member of an iconic group of 4 dead people who tend to lose important things. Rockstar Chica versus the Wet Floor Bot from Five Nights at Freddy's. Chica faces her greatest challenge yet. Rockstar Foxy versus Captain Rockhopper from Club Penguin. Red pirates who are nice to the player and even offer them goods. They have a pet that they have an extremely close relationship with. Freddy Fazbear versus the Terminator from the Terminator series. They are robots who protect small children. Good idea! Glamrock Chica versus Hangry the Pig from Dark Deception. Gluttonous machines who relentlessly chase after the player, even after they get grievously damaged. Roxanne Wolf versus Alice Angel. According to Spy, it is the Hear Me Out matchup, which is not what I was going for, but whatever. Montgomery Gator versus Chick Hicks from Cars. Green characters who are jealous of the main character and want to steal the spotlight from them. He also offed the person who was second in command, who was blue! Sun and Moon vs. Diavolo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Characters who have multiple personalities, one docile, the other hostile, and they're both voiced by Kellen Goff. And for the finale, we have DJ Music Man versus Giant Captain Fiddles from Garden of Banban. Giant versions of already existing characters. Boom! Finished. Yep, that was the list. What was your favorite ID on the list? None of them? I agree. See you next time for Nappa vs. Conquest.